is proudly brought to you by
Hello and welcome. I'm Tracy Pa with the news. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, suspects sought in Porgera, Port Moresby Airport set for major expansion, and Candice lead competition. Communities along the northern coastal areas of mainland of Papua New Guinea and the New Guinea Islands advised to remain alert and vigilant following reports of a magnitude 7.8 earthquake in the Philippines region. The National Disaster Center and Port Moresby Geophysical Observatory issued the warning for potential tsunami waves that may be generated by an earthquake of this magnitude. Additional advisories will be issued should the threat level change. Large earthquakes in the Pacific region have the potential to generate tsunami waves that may travel long distances across the Pacific. All provincial disaster offices, district administration, maritime authorities and coastal communities are advised to monitor official updates issued by the NCD and POMGO. Prime Minister James Marape has commended efforts by community leaders, tribes and citizens in the Highlands in facilitating the voluntary surrender of firearms. He described the recent gun surrender exercise in Mendi, Southern Highlands Province and Hela as encouraging signs that communities are responding positively to government calls for peace and security.
Prime Minister James Marape has praised community leaders, tribes and citizens in the Highlands region for their proactive engagement in voluntarily surrendering firearms. Marape made special mention of prominent Mendi leader Stephen Temo, praising him for his leadership in encouraging his people to surrender firearms despite personally suffering from election-related violence in recent years. He said Mr. Temo played a critical role advocating for disarmament, even in the face of personal challenges stemming from election-related violence. Prime Minister Marape acknowledged that many illegal weapons held in communities were acquired over many years for protection purposes, but stressed that lasting security must come from the state rather than armed groups or tribal protection systems. He emphasized that these voluntary disarmament initiatives are essential for building safer environments and reducing violence, ultimately allowing communities to focus on development and harmony. He urged other leaders and citizens to follow Temo's example and embrace the opportunity for renewal and peace, reinforcing the government's commitment to supporting initiatives that promote security and stability throughout the country. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
The National Office for Child and Family Services is working with police to ensure the suspect involved in abusing a girl in Porgera, Enga Province is arrested and charged for child abuse. National Office for Child and Family Services is already on the child abuse case out of Porgera, Enga Province. Chief Executive Officer Jeffrey Webb said they are working with police to look into the matter. Mr. Webb said the 4-year-old in question was threatened by an unidentified male who was filming the ordeal at the same time. In the video, the man was forcing the child to pack her clothes and leave the house she was residing in. In the video, the child was distraught and crying the whole time. Mr. Webb strongly condemned the incident, saying no child in Papua New Guinea should go through such a situation. He said he had contacted the police commissioner, the Enga Provincial Police Commander and the police station commander for Porgera, expressing his concern over the incident and calling for the immediate arrest of the offender. A child protection officer in Porgera is working with police to ensure the child is assessed and protected from further abuse and harm. Mr. Wap explained that what happened in the video breaks the Lookout in Pikinini Act 2015, the primary law that protects children in the country, administered by the Child and Family Services. He said reports of abuse that neither reach them directly or are shared on social media are swiftly investigated with the help of partners. Australia is supporting Papua New Guinea in accelerating its transition towards climate-resilient development, with Morobe province taking a major step forward. Recently, a two-day climate-resilient green growth strategy validation workshop was held in Lae under the Australian-funded Climate Finance Initiative for Resilience and a Sustainable Transition, or the Climate First project. Participants supported climate-resilient interventions across agriculture, transport and water sectors, while identifying a pipeline of projects to be developed into bankable investments by 2027. The focus was to validate Morobe's CRGG strategy and prioritize key investments for sustainable development. TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Tooks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
What a game this has been. With a minute to go, it all comes down to this.
And here they come. They go wide. Passes to Becky. He juggles. Kicks it. Who will get there? No Cara. He's over. What a try. All the emotions are flowing. Jubilation. Ecstasy. What a game.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Fine PNG made.
P&G's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in P&G. Proudly Goldspot.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Use sabe tools and condom and one way where you can abuse him seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy, think Bring him, use him condom, long right way. Stop safe, na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you, or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI, na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom, banish him you yet, na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Thanks for staying with us. 52 provincial and district public servants, including finance managers, accountants, senior administrators and electoral staff from MPs' offices, participated recently in hands-on training to use the Bilum system to manage and report on Service Improvement Program funds. The Bilum platform is a digital governance initiative that supports Papua New Guinea's efforts to improve how public funds are tracked, reported and used to deliver services, replacing paper-based processes with more accurate and accessible digital reporting. Australian High Commission Minister Councillor said the training is helping build trust between communities and government in Western Province. The Managing Director of Rigo Rice, Jeffrey Kennedy, has encouraged Papua New Guineans to take ownership and commit to having a proven case before calling for government support. Kennedy uses his business as an example, saying he uses his own funding to grow the rice project. Now that the project is operational, he has a proven case to present to the government for additional funding for the expansion of the project.
Papua New Guinea, we should focus on one thing first. Get it right, get it to become a success story, so then we can replicate it elsewhere. We do a small farm here and then a small farm there and a small farm everywhere, and then they all fail at the same time and there's no real results. Like for me, I didn't expect any government support until I have a proven case. So my own investment, and I encourage other Papua New Guineans who've got some money, you go and you do it. So most of them you can work in. And once you have a proven case, you can come to the government for support. So in my case, that's what I did. After nearly 7 years of sweat and a lot of money being spent, we have a proven case. So I went back to the government and said, listen, I've done it, it can be done and we can expand, but we need help. And that's when the government stepped in.
The Independent Consumer and Competition imposed the government to take necessary steps in protecting consumer welfare by creating a fair and efficient aviation sector. The final report released by the ICCC following an inquiry into the country's aviation industry outlines a number of key reforms and includes bringing the National Airports Corporation and New Sky Pacific Limited under independent economic regulation of prices and service quality.
Papua New Guinea's Independent Consumer and Competition Commission recently released its final report following its inquiry into the country's aviation industry. The report includes two key recommendations that will strengthen the overall sector performances. ICCC Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer Royal Dagi said significant benefits will emerge from this recommendation in terms of more accountability, service, efficiency, and transparency in Papua New Guinea's aviation services. The ICCC recommends the National Airport Corporation and New Sky Limited be brought under independent economic regulation of their prices and service quality. According to the ICCC, an economic regulator will have clear legal power to review and approve the NAC's airport charges and New Sky navigation fees before they take effect based on transparent, cost-based methodologies. Secondly, the government established a high-level airport investment steering committee to coordinate major airport investment decisions. The ICCC stated that this group should include senior representatives from the Department of Transport, NAC, major airlines, and where appropriate development partners. Its role would be to set national priorities for airport investment, focusing on scarce resources on the most pressing needs of users. Mr. Dagi said over time airlines should face more predictable and efficient aeronautical charges, enabling better planning and more suitable operations, and consumers should gain clearer information and stronger consumer protection oversight. The ICCC believe these reforms would support a safer, fairer, and more efficient aviation sector that continues to underpin PNG's growth, social cohesion, and national unity. Mason Lewis, TVWAN News.
The Port Moresby International Airport will undergo major redevelopment and expansion aimed at modernizing the airport and positioning it to accommodate the current and future growth and demand in air travel, while strengthening Papua New Guinea's role as a key regional hub. On Friday, June 5th, the national government, the National Airports Corporation and key stakeholders launched a redevelopment program of the country's premier aviation gateway, a project that will cost up to 2.5 billion kina. The redevelopment Jackson's International Airport will be delivered in 4 phases over a 6.5-year period. The project was officially launched on Friday, June 5th. The immediate priority in Phase 1 will be the extension of the domestic terminal by 110 meters to address current congestion and operational challenges. Phase 1 will also include upgrading of the airfield ground lighting and power supply systems. Across National Airports Corporation's 22 airports, passenger movements have increased from 1.9 million in 1997 to 3.4 million in 2025, with projections of 4.4 million by 2035 and 6.6 million by 2045 under the same growth assumptions. While the growth rate used may be high, these forecasted figures show the urgency of expanding capacity to meet rising demand. NAC Board Chairman Jacob Anga said this project marks the beginning of a new era for aviation infrastructure in PNG and represents the first phase of the Port Moresby International Airport Development Program, a major national initiative being delivered under the vision and leadership of the Marape-led government.
Terminal at far hand as faithfully served Papua New Guinea for almost 36 years. This extension of the airport will now signifies that in 36 years we have not seen the development of the capacity of the airport that can withstand the growing public. For 3.5 decades, this terminal has welcomed millions of passengers, supported economic growth, connected our provinces, and served as a critical gateway for our people.
Minister for Civil Aviation Wake Goi said the redevelopment marks a big improvement in the aviation sector in terms of improving investment capabilities.
But we expect to reach some $3 billion, US $1 billion something investment. Prime Minister, your government has not gone wrong. Investing in areas that bring big returns is the way to go forward the next 50 years.
And City Governor Powers Pakop also witnessed the launching. He said the redevelopment forms part of the planning for the city in meeting the demand of an increased population, business and traffic.
Increase, businesses increase, traffic has increased. It's only appropriate that we make this intervention to redevelop the international terminal, and hopefully soon, Minister, Chairman, CEO, we will see also the expansion of the domestic terminal.
Prime Minister James Marape has committed 20 million kina for the expansion of the domestic terminal. And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2288 US in the interbank market. At Banks of Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2213 US, 0.3111 Australian dollars, 0.1842 euro, and 35.23 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed lower except crude oil closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. This is TV1 News. We'll have the news overseas after the break. Stay with us.
Bank Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Oh, what a game this has been. With a minute to go, it all comes down to this.
And here they come. They go wide. Passes to Becky. He juggles. Kicks it. Who will get there? Luca, he's over. What a try. All the emotions are flowing. Jubilation, ecstasy, what again?
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins for visibly less hair breakage after retouching. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Mega Growth Anti-Damage No-Light Cream Relaxer for visibly less hair breakage after retouching.
Central Province is our home.
The tides of the Coral Sea are our heartbeat. From the coast to the mountains,
Traditions pass generation to generation.
the sea and our gardens sustain us.
Our songs carry our legends through time.
Our home is Central Province. Our nation is Papua New Guinea.
Yumi Papa na Mama Ground. We protect our land, we provide for our families today and tomorrow. One kind thinking na pasin must stop. ICT infrastructure works the same way. It helps families stay connected, students keep learning, clinics reach patients, and businesses keep growing. When that connection is lost, we feel it because something important in our lives stopped working. That's why protecting ICT infrastructure is protecting our access to life-changing opportunities.
Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston, he kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston did.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile, pushing beyond the limit, and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
Welcome back. Pacific Islands Forum foreign ministers have endorsed a new regional response mechanism to help the region manage the growing economic and security risk arising from the Middle East crisis. Pacific nations remain vulnerable to disruption in fuel supplies, transport links, and global supply chains. The decision was made during a special forum foreign ministers meeting held virtually in May 2026. The mechanism includes governance arrangements, guiding principles for regional engagement, escalation pathways, and technical coordination structures. The forum highlighted the importance of Pacific unity, saying the regional response should be guided by the Pacific Way and leaders' shared vision for a peaceful, resilient, and secure Blue Pacific region. The United Kingdom has been stripped of its missile-free status as vaccination rates plunge. Experts say the spread now poses a serious threat in Australia, where fewer children are protected from the disease.
It's summertime at the Archer household west of Manchester. But someone's missing from the chaos.
We think about her and talk about her every day. Life's just not the same without her.
In September 2023, Rebecca's first child, Renee, died just before her 11th birthday.
This is my favourite picture of Renee.
Only after months of tests did doctors work out that Renee was dying from a rare complication of a measles infection she had at 5 months old, when she was too young to be vaccinated. She recovered at the time, but the virus stayed, silently replicating in her body. The condition is fatal and usually takes 7 to 10 years for symptoms to show.
She was just getting weaker. She was struggling to keep her eyes open. She kind of slowly stopped eating. She had a breathing tube and she was no longer talking.
The UK is in the throes of another measles outbreak. The World Health Organization has even taken away its elimination status, meaning the virus is now spreading locally.
The same trend is also emerging in the US and Australia.
This is now a serious threat in Australia. We don't want to see a death.
Experts say misinformation and vaccine hesitancy are on the rise, but access is also a problem.
We actually have the lowest vaccine coverage for kids in a decade.
The hotspots of under-vaccination include northern New South Wales, Noosa's hinterland and the Gold Coast in Queensland, and large parts of WA's southwest. There are also pockets in Melbourne and Sydney too. Becca's speaking out to raise awareness about the complications from measles. A fifth of children will be hospitalised, 1 in 20 will get pneumonia, and 1 in 10 will develop an ear infection, which can lead to permanent hearing loss.
She was my best friend, she was my firstborn, and she made everyone around her happy.
Rebecca's determined to make sure other families don't face the same pain.
Residents from remote Indigenous communities across Australia are painfully aware their life expectancy rates are much worse than the non-Indigenous population. In one Northern Territory community, residents are calling for an investigation into their local death rate, which they feel is high.
The Borroloola community of 900 in the NT's Gulf of Carpentaria say they're reeling from 15 deaths from chronic health conditions and suicide in 6 months.
I was in big shock. Too many of them, young people. Go on, and I'm older than my brother just passed away.
Yukwawal Nancy McDinney's brother, Mr. McDinney, died from cancer, aged 50 last year.
There's too many family, and we all sad because we lost a lot of family in Borroloola.
The family feel Borroloola's NT government-run clinic doesn't provide enough health checks and prevention programs.
Northern Territory government, they should be helping. Too many of our young people gone away.
It's a view shared by Maria Pyro, whose 51-year-old aunt Teresa Rory died from kidney and liver failure in January.
We are losing so many lives that can be prevented. It's not right. It's not normal.
She got really sick. Suddenly, we didn't know nothing.
On an investigation on those 15 people that passed away. Also to bring in more people to help our clinic.
The NT Health Department responded by saying the Borroloola clinic is appropriately staffed and it's run prevention programs, including a health check week in which 80 people were checked. It says it's working with the community to improve health outcomes, and it extended condolences to the families who've lost loved ones. Nationally, the rate of avoidable Indigenous deaths has risen from 177 per 100,000 people to 220. It's double the whole of community average, something the federal government's trying to tackle.
I'm very conscious of a number of communities that are really experiencing distress. Borroloola is certainly one of those in terms of deaths.
It's a closing the gap challenge, not getting easier.
A popular online protest movement has moved to the streets of India's capital in support of the new cockroach Jata Party. It had been initially formed as a response to controversial remarks by India's Chief Justice and has since grown into a powerful outlet for young Indians frustrated with high unemployment and the rigid education system.
Hundreds of people have turned out to the streets of Delhi today in support of the Cockroach Junta Party, or CJP. It started as a satirical political party launched by Abhijit Dipke, a 30-year-old Indian student who's currently studying in the United States. He came back to Delhi this weekend for this protest. It was launched after India's Chief Justice Surya Kant made controversial comments about India's unemployed youth, calling them cockroaches. That has really struck a nerve with young people here in India who are fed up with the country's education system.
Unemployment has been created by these people, and now they're calling the unemployed youth who are demanding accountability as cockroaches.
I feel very agitated, but I am glad also that we students are capable of culminating into this movement, and I'm here contributing for it with all of my strength.
Protesters today are calling for the resignation of India's Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, after the answers to India's top medical exam were leaked, leading to 2 million people needing to resit that exam.
Some people buy the paper, buy the exam question paper, and then they sell it for tens of lakhs. And if you can afford that, then your dreams may come true. But if you cannot afford to buy the question papers, you will be called cockroaches because you will be left unemployed.
The educational system of India has collapsed. It's 8 years since the Honorable Education Minister, he has done nothing for the country, he has done nothing for the educational system of the students in India. So we have come here to ask his resignation. If the government is really responsible, they have to take his resignation.
Whether this movement has any staying power, however, will depend on whether or not it can maintain the momentum seen at rallies like this.
About a sixth of the world's milk is wasted, over 150 million tons every year. But a Cameroon company has come up with new technology that could reduce that. Launched 3 years ago, the technology is already being used around the world.
The dairy industry produces 980 million tonnes of milk each year worldwide. However, about a sixth of that is wasted. A Canberra company is trying to change that.
We engineer proteins, they're called biosensors, so they can measure things very, very accurately.
The biosensors help find problematic enzymes in the milk.
We can measure the quality of raw milk in terms of its protease. So that's an enzyme that can spoil the finished product.
This factory at Wagga Wagga has been producing milk for 103 years, and it has a powerful new tool to deliver lab results.
So something that you can determine in 48 hours, you can actually get an indicator off this machine in about 3 minutes.
It allows dairy factories to treat the milk earlier so it's still up to standard, or even decide to use it for cheese or yogurt instead.
We can do that instantaneously rather than actually producing and processing the end product and then having to potentially withdraw it.
The technology also aims to help milk factories locate where the spoiling enzymes are in the supply chain to eliminate them.
So which batch is this?
Stephen Trow helped develop the cyber nose and cyber tongue technology over decades at the CSIRO for various uses.
It looked at being able to measure wine aromas, it looked at being able to detect explosive vapours.
He eventually formed his own company and rebuilt the cyber tongue to target the dairy sector. Launched in 2023, the technology is already being used on 5 continents, with an ultimate aim to prevent more than 70 million tonnes of milk from being wasted each year.
TV1 News continues after the break with sports. Stay with us.
Meet UmiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, UmiPay makes every payment simple. UmiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
Dad's gonna be home soon. Dinner's not ready. He's gonna be mad. Mom's trying her best. If it's not ready, oh no. I'm proud of my old man. If he can change, anyone can.
It is bouncing off the upright try. Big shot coming in. Oh, Tamika wrapped it around the fullback, and she'll score the first try with a 10-metre slide.
Back the land that was stolen from us.
Don't you ever let go of our land. Your brother's going to come.
In violation of military discipline, conduct unbecoming of an officer, guilty of homicide.
I lead an elite private military company. I have a certain job.
Now think about it, sir.
Boss, I knew it. It's the hackers targeting scam ops. Codename Metamorphosis.
The next time you fail to collect their payment, I'll show you what a real beating is.
Sorry.
So that is what they are playing for. The UEFA Super Cup anthem has had its airing. The handshakes are underway. The action is almost sent to defence. Bouncing dangerously in off the bar and in! Spurs in front! Mickey van der Ven! One for Dembele. Dangerous ball, it's in! Paris level! What a turnaround from the European champions!
Get any bigger than this.
The best attack in the league against the second best.
This is going to be the flagship competition and players that have been discovered. Always remember like Munn, Southern, Capital City, Brett Mate, England, Reece Walt, Vader, Ezra Mann, Trump, Guinea, Hunt, William Mononga, scoring, Liverpool through the game.
Welcome back. The ITF Under-12 Regional Training Camp concluded a successful week-long development training in Port Moresby. Young participants from Solomon Islands and Vanuatu joined fellow tennis players in PNG for a high-performance camp that included technical, physical and mental development.
Papua New Guinea Tennis Association, in partnership with the International Tennis Federation, successfully hosted the ITF Under-12 Regional Training Camp West Pacific 2026 in Port Moresby from June the 2nd to the 5th at the Port Moresby Rackets Club. The 4-day camp brought together young tennis players from Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu, providing a high-performance environment focused on tactical, physical and mental development. 9 PNG participants were joined by 4 young players from the Solomon Islands and 1 from Vanuatu. Throughout the week, players took time in intensive training sessions, match play, fitness testing and educational workshops designed to support their development both on and off the court. The camp was facilitated by Pacific Oceania ITF Development Officer Dr. Perwin Panjasilpa, who worked closely with players and coaches throughout the program. Dr. Panjasilpa said the purpose of these regional camps is to provide young players with quality training opportunities while creating an environment where they can learn from one another to be challenged to improve. PNG Tennis Association President Barbara Stubbins said the camp was an important opportunity for both players and coaches, as they had the opportunity to learn from international experts, train alongside players from neighboring countries, and experience a high-performance environment that contributes significantly to the growth of tennis in PNG and throughout the Pacific region. Susan Oriape, TV1 Sports.
Following the signing of 4 players, PNG Chiefs General Manager of Football, Michael Chalmers, expressed excitement for what the next signings would look like. He says the PNG homegrown talents are their rider as well.
Chalmers and Chiefs recruitment manager Liam Ayob spent a couple of weeks in the UK eyeing the players in the Super League, checking out who's available on the market and talking to agents and other reliable contacts with different clubs, which ultimately led to the signing of the first Super League and St. Helens player Matty Les last week. While in London, Chalmers also stressed the importance of meeting with PNG Kumuls and London Broncos coach Jason Demetrio, where him and Ayob had the opportunity to meet with the PNG boys who are a significant part of the Chiefs' recruitment plan.
We've got a lot of experience, so we're pretty happy with that. And I think when you get experienced players, it helps attract the younger guys because they know that when they come into our environment, they'll learn from these experienced players who have won premierships, played Origin, played internationals. So, yeah, we're really excited about the experience there. Now we're going to add some youth to that.
Chalmers expressed great confidence on the number of exciting young Papua New Guinean players available on the market right now.
We've been keeping a very close eye, as you guys would know, on the best young Papua New Guineans coming through as well. So I'm sure everyone's excited about when we're going to announce some homeborn talent, and we're pretty optimistic that's not too far away. So,
on speculation surrounding Lee Leopard star Edwin Ipape joining the PNG Chiefs, GM has categorically dismissed any social media narrative, adding Ipape has just extended his contract with Leopards for the next 6 years till 2031, and they respect that. Chalmers concluded.
I've seen a lot, you've asked me about Edwin Ipape, I see a lot of commentary around the Chiefs not going after Edwin or some of the other PNG boys, and the reality is, these guys are contracted to. Look, Edwin signed a 6-year deal. Do we think Edwin's a quality player? Of course we do. Do we think Edwin Ipape would work in the NRL? Of course, the proof's in the pudding, but he's got a 6-year contract and we've got to be respectful to him. We've got to be respectful to the Lee Leopards. We've got to be respectful to everyone involved. So we've asked the questions around his future. We've asked, trying to understand what his contract situation is. And as far as we know, there is no option there for him to get out and go to the NRL. So unless things change, we can't do anything about it. And that doesn't mean we don't want him. It just means that we have to be respectful to his contract at the moment.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Making their debut in the 2026 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, the Morobe Kandis have maintained the top spot after defeating the Mendi Muruks 22 points to 14 during the amazing round at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby on Saturday. A second-half comeback could have saved the Muruks as they fell short by 8 points at full-time.
Is it a sneaky chip kick?
Morobe Kandis recorded a strong 22 points to 14 win over PRK Mendi Muruks at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby on Saturday during the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup Amazing Round. The win places the Kandis on top of the competition after round 9. The Kandis, with their first fixture in Port Moresby, ignited their Port Moresby-based fans with an early lead 12 points to 0 at halftime. Kandis scored 4 tries through Ames John, Jaden Numapo, Stanza Tandoa and Joseph Martin. The team managed 3 successful conversions, helping them build a solid lead. Muruks fought back in the second half with 3 tries from Levi Andrew, who scored twice, and Finley Peter. However, they were only able to convert 1 goal, which made it difficult to catch up. Kandis started well and controlled the early part of the match before Muruks tried to close the gap later in the game. A late try from Joseph Martin helped seal the victory for Kandis. The win was boosted by good kicking accuracy. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 Sports.
The NCDC Port Moresby Vipers have claimed the 2026 Maroon Cup after a commanding 42 points to 12 victory over the East New Britain Egmagurias on Sunday. The match was the final one, ending the amazing round of the Digital ExxonMobil Cup competition round 9.
Almost drops that ball.
The Vipers produced a clinical performance in front of their home supporters, running in a series of impressive tries through speedster Ismail Vayake, Sebastian Benson, and a double for Joseph Cora, Manasseh Watts, and Ben Fege, who was superb with the conversions that earned him the Man of the Match award. Gurias worked overtime in the second half to turn the tables, but could not contain the skillful play and speed put up by the Vipers. Guri's only tries were from William Tirang and Muka Kalu, with 2 conversions successfully converted by Makalunga for the day's 12 points. The Maroon Cup is now in its 3rd year, is contested annually between the Vipers and the Gurias in honor of rugby league icon Michael Maroon, a former Vipers and Gurias. The match celebrates Marum's contribution to rugby league as a player and coach in PNG.
Congratulations to the Vipers. Money plus Port Moresby Vipers long victory today. Tough battle. The Gurias unlucky today, but you have a season to go. I acknowledge the presence of the NCD governor who's here with us. We talk thank you through long. Come on board, let's support him. This initiative long Mibla, the Maroon Cup.
Present to witness the match was East New Britain Governor Marum and NCD Governor Powers Paco. Both highlighted the importance of the Marum Cup challenge.
Vipers taking out the challenge again this year. Congratulations. Marum Cup ino belong imi long walking plan ito tolongan luluk sa solo walk about the meal what the game had played for me personally from the local competitions, the off seasons here in Port Moresby into the premier competitions. Me talk thank you to the ESL Cup, NRLC, the sponsors, for understanding the initiative that we've taken long having such competition. Those young boys out there, I was out on local league off season and we come through the Vipers and we come up Gurias until I represented the country, and also eventually Coach Yantas and then the Kumuls. So again, Governor, your support today, your commitment last year when we were here same time, and also again today, long talk less to lie, milai talk, boina tuna.
With the win, the Vipers not only secured a competition points, but also retained local bragging rights in one of the Digital ExxonMobil Cup's growing rivalries. Pakov shared that the match will engage in good sportsmanship and friendship between the two teams.
Very tough game, entertaining game, but one has to win, and again this year Vipers win again, so I think congratulate Vipers on behalf of Mitupla Governor, Mitupla staff backside long, this Maroon Cup, Vipers. And bring him to the teams together because he played in both teams. I think I'm going to coach him Guria too. Yes. So this is the whole idea behind this Maroon Cup. So I'd like to thank you too long the Intercity Digital and ExxonMobil Cup long allow this rivalry or friendly rivalry to take place between our two teams, honoring the governor and importantly contributing to the development of rugby league and inspiring rugby league players.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The 2026 University of Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League season has officially kicked off. Round 1 matches were played over the weekend. More than 20 teams representing the various schools within the university are participating in this year's annual competition. For the first time, women's team have been included, marking an important step forward promoting gender equality within the university's rugby league community.
The launch of the 2026 UPNZ RFL season comes at a significant time for Papua New Guinea as the country prepares to enter the NRL in 2028. This development is expected to inspire student athletes to pursue pathways as intellectual footballers. The participating teams represent all 5 schools within the university: the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, School of Law, School of Natural and Physical Sciences, School of Business and Public Policy, and the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. The inclusion of women's teams this season supports ongoing efforts to promote gender equality in rugby league, and it also aligns with broader initiatives by the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League to grow and develop the women's game across the country. The University of Papua New Guinea Rugby League is the governing body for campus-based rugby league. It operates in partnership with the PNG RFL to provide structured pathways and opportunities for student athletes to develop their skills and progress in the sport. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
Maroons coach Billy Slater has named his squad for Game 2 of the Ample State of Origin series with Broncos superstar Reece Walsh recalled and Dolphins forward Kulikefu Fainfi-Yakip poised to make his Origin debut, with Pat Kerrigan and Giamad Shibasaki unavailable due to injury and Ezra Mam dropping out. Reece is the only Broncos in the Maroon squad for the do-or-die clash.
Welsh made his Origin debut in Game 1 of 2023 series, which Queensland won 2-1 before playing all 3 games in the 2024 series. Injury ruled the Broncos superstar out of the start of the 2025 series, and by the time he had returned to full fitness, Hemiso Tabuai-Fidow had nailed down the fullback spot for the Maroons, and Welsh was 18th man in Game 3. Slater knows what Reece is capable of doing, and with 10 days to go before Game 2 on June 17. Cowboys flyer Mari Taulagi also returns to the Maroons squad for the clash at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Kaylin Ponga will lead the Maroons at fullback, with Welsh coming in as the 18th man. Selwyn Kobo and Jojo Fifita have been named in the wings. Cementing the centre roles are Robert Toya and Hemiso Tabuai-Fidow, with Roosters main man Sam Walker at halfback and Storm's Harry Grant at hooker. Leading the forward pack is Dolphin strongman Thomas Flagler alongside Tino Fasumlawi, Brinton Nikora and Kat Capewell. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
This ends the sports segment, and now the weather. Smile good. Southern Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema and Alotau partly cloudy. Popendetta, cloudy periods with occasional showers. Mamase, all centers partly cloudy, except Play, cloudy periods with occasional showers. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo, Rabaul, cloudy periods with occasional showers. Kimbe, cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Highlands region, all centers, cloudy periods with possible evening showers. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral and Solomon Seas. Seas fresh to rough with southwest winds of 20 to 30 knots. Bismarck Sea. Seas moderate to fresh, becoming rough at times with southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots at times. Pacific Ocean sees light with easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots over the western sector, tending westerly over the eastern sector. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Milne Bay Islands sees 1.5 to 2.5 meters, reaching 3 to 3.5 meters at times. Waters of Fincher Fen through Vitia Strait to CSC and Long Island to Medang sees 2 to 3.5 meters. And that wraps up another edition of TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by